Get ready with me. Construction management. A series to understand construction management, one idea at a time. Construction management is connected to larger ideas: construction, structures, infrastructure, engineering systems, logistics, and project delivery. Before going deeper into construction management, it helps to clarify a few words that are often confused with one another. Some of these words are sometimes used interchangeably in everyday language, even though they can have different technical meanings in the construction industry. For example, a construction professional may use words such as structure, frame, or infrastructure in a more precise and technical way than the general public. In other words, the meaning of these terms can change depending on the context, the industry, and the level of technical discussion. Construction, structure, infrastructure, and IT infrastructure. Construction comprises activities primarily engaged in constructing, repairing, and renovating buildings and engineering works, and in subdividing and developing land. Examples include building a bridge, constructing a hospital, renovating a school, or developing land. Structure. A structure is the organized system of elements designed to support loads and maintain stability. A building structure is divided into two primary, interdependent parts: the substructure, below ground, and the superstructure, above ground. A structure is made up of structural elements such as foundations, beams, columns, slabs, load-bearing walls, retaining walls, and frames. Infrastructure. Infrastructure refers to the physical systems and facilities that allow society and the economy to function. Examples include roads, bridges, transit systems, ports, water systems, airports, hospitals, and schools. IT infrastructure. IT means information technology. IT infrastructure refers to digital systems that allow information, communication, software, data, and technology services to operate. Simple example: building a bridge is construction. The bridge's foundations, beams, deck, columns, and load-bearing systems are part of the structure. The bridge itself is part of transportation infrastructure because it supports mobility, trade, and economic activity. Structure S. In construction, the word structure can have more than one meaning. This is a good example of why context matters. In a general sense, a structure can mean something that has been built, such as a building, a bridge, a tower, a dam, or another engineered work. In a more technical sense, the structure can also refer to the organized load-bearing system inside that built work. This includes the elements that support loads and help maintain rigidity and stability, such as foundations, beams, columns, slabs, frames, and load-bearing walls. Structure as a built work. In everyday language, a structure can simply mean something that was built. Examples include a building, a bridge, a tower, a dam, or a retaining wall. Structure as a load-bearing system. In technical construction language, the structure often means the organized system that supports loads and helps keep the built work stable. This can include foundations, beams, columns, slabs, frames, diaphragms, and load-bearing walls. Structural elements. Structural elements are the individual components that make up the structure. Examples include beams, columns, slabs, foundations, load-bearing walls, and retaining walls. Quebec note: in Quebec, you may also hear the French word charpent. The word charpent often refers to the main supporting frame, especially the system that supports the roof of a building. Although it is traditionally associated with wood construction, it can also apply to steel and concrete construction. In practice, words such as structure, frame, skeleton, and charpent can overlap in everyday construction discussions. Their precise meaning depends on the context, the trade, the professional discipline, and the level of technical detail. Main types of infrastructure: transportation infrastructure, roads, bridges, railways, transit systems, airports, and transportation networks. Utility infrastructure: water systems, sewage systems, electricity networks, pipelines, and telecommunications. Social infrastructure: hospitals, schools, universities, libraries, and public facilities. Economic infrastructure: ports, logistics hubs, warehouses, industrial facilities, and freight systems. Digital infrastructure: fiber optic systems, communication networks, telecom systems, and data center facilities. IT infrastructure refers mainly to computing and information systems, while digital infrastructure is a broader concept that can also include communication and connectivity systems, such as telecommunications and fiber optic networks. Some infrastructure can belong to more than one conversation depending on the context. For example, a port supports transportation, logistics, trade, supply chains, and economic activity at the same time. Infrastructure systems are interconnected and often serve multiple functions simultaneously. The data center example. Data centers are a good example of why these distinctions matter. Building a data center is construction. The foundations, structural systems, envelope, electrical rooms, mechanical systems, and physical building are part of the built environment. The facility itself can be considered physical infrastructure because it supports digital and economic activity. The servers, databases, cloud systems, networks, software platforms, and cybersecurity systems inside the facility are IT infrastructure. A data center can involve construction, structure, physical infrastructure, and IT infrastructure at the same time. The confusion comes from looking at the same object from different angles. Public, private, and hybrid infrastructure. Public infrastructure. Owned, financed, or operated mainly by governments or public entities. Examples include public roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, water systems, and parks. Private infrastructure. Owned, financed, or operated mainly by private companies or investors. Examples include private hospitals, power plants, data centers, telecom networks, warehouses, and industrial facilities. Hybrid infrastructure, delivered through a mix of public and private roles. Examples include public-private partnerships, toll roads, airports, transit systems, and some hospitals. The goal is not to memorize definitions, but to understand how the words relate to each other. Construction is the action. Structure is what carries and stabilizes the built work. Infrastructure is the larger system that serves people, cities, and the economy. IT infrastructure belongs to the digital world, but it can still connect to construction when digital systems need physical facilities, such as data centers, networks, and technical spaces.